welcome back to the program. Love to tell you about interesting things that are popping up all around central Iowa, and boy, did we find a neat one.
Absolutely. As much as we love to teach you about new things that are happening, sometimes it's fun to take a look back into our past to really know our history. And that's why we're so excited to have Gale Brubaker joining us. She is Executive Director of the West Des Moines Historical Society. And speaking of new things popping up that teach us about our history, you have a brand new exhibit.
We do. Boy, they're a lot of work, but they're awesome. It's West Des Moines at War. So it's focusing just on, not just on West Des Moines citizens' contributions, but a lot of central Iowa, because my gosh, Iowa is a patriotic place. Yeah. All the way from the Spanish-American War to present day. So
I was just going to say, you're covering it all.
Yeah, in one small room. It's pretty cramped.
We're talking about the West Des Moines Historical Society, which maybe some people haven't heard of yet.
We're at the Jordan House, which is at 2001 Fuller Road. So you need to come visit us because it's a really important place for a lot of reasons. James Jordan was an early leader in central Iowa and West Des Moines, and I think most people know him because he was chief conductor for the Underground Railroad here in Polk County. But we're really trying to talk more about our history, and we're making history today when you think about it. You know, those of us who lived through the floods of '93, we weren't thinking, hey, this is a historical moment. We were thinking, I got to go stand in line at Hy-Vee and get water.
Right, this is an amazing time here.
It is. So I think that's what we're really trying to do, is get people to realize that history is happening now, and we are about modern history as well as way 1850s history.
So why was it important to tell this story of Iowans, central Iowans who've been a part of serving our country?
Well, I'll tell you, Iowa has a very long tradition of service. Iowa sent more soldiers to the Civil War per capita than any other state in the Union. So
that's impressive.
It is. It's absolutely amazing. And being a farming state, we have supplied food through victory gardens, through all of those efforts, through many wars. And this exhibit just isn't about war itself. It's about what happens at home as well. Like I said, victory gardens, scrap drives, all of these efforts that a lot of women made to support war efforts. The WACs and the Waves and the WASPs that were trained in Des Moines at the Fort Des Moines facility. Including one Iowan, one West Des Moines citizen, Marie Mountain Clark, who was a member of the Caterpillar Club. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what's the Caterpillar Club?
Those are people who have fallen out of airplanes and been saved by their parachutes. It is a very exclusive club, and one that maybe you don't necessarily want to be in. But these women took over these traditional male jobs. They towed airplanes so gunners could have practice. And sometimes they got shot instead of the airplanes they were towing. Women have had a very long history, centuries long, in supporting war efforts as well as fighting. So that's a story that we definitely want to tell.
Speaking of the war efforts, how far back are we going here?
We're going to this all the way to the Spanish-American War. I have some things, thanks to the Gold Star Museum at Camp Dodge. They were so generous. They loaned me a lot of items that I have in there, as well as a private collector who has a lot of stuff. So we've got almost 100 items in one room at the Jordan House.
Well, you're going to have a lot of people whose ears and eyes opened up right there.
I certainly hope so.
Now, tell us about a couple of them that you might have over there that might draw some interest.
Well, I've got one item here. It's a jacket. It's a bomber jacket from World War II, worn by Robert Jordan Jr. And these hand-painted jackets were all the rage. So those are all the places that he served as a cottontail, which was the name of his battalion? I'm not sure of the
Squadron?
Squadron. It's on the back. So that's Robert Jordan Jr., who was the last Jordan family member to live in the house, wearing the jacket over in Italy and one of his service medals. So that's kind of what inspired this. The Jordan family donated this to us. Like, well, what else do we have?
Right. What else is out there?
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's such a great tie to West Des Moines history because the Jordan name is very well known. Here's an example of somebody who really stepped up to support this country.
Are there some other pieces that have been loaned or donated at this time that really caught your eye? They're like, ooh, this is a special piece.
Yeah, everybody has to see this.
I have some interesting propaganda items. Propaganda was such an important tool, especially during World War II. The Disney company put together anti-Hitler musicals.
What?
So we have some.
Was Mel Brooks involved with this one?
Was he alive then? Well, Donald Duck was, so
That's
those are
true,
kind
yeah.
of the same thing, right? So yeah, the sheet music that is anti-Hitler
Really?
with Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse on it have some postcards of Hitler's face on a toilet bowl.
No.
So that was kind of fun. And there was one piece that they wanted to loan us, but it was too fragile. It's Hitler and Goebbels and all of the Nazis on toilet paper. But it's incredibly fragile.
I
so-
would imagine.
Yeah. And
Oh
I
my goodness, I
have
had no
a neat
idea.
Cavalry Sword that actually is my husband's family that was from World War I. And as we were saying, that sucker is heavy.
Heavy.
So yeah, you see how you need to be on the back of a horse to get this thing.
Have we weighed this sword yet, or is this something you're going to be doing here in the very near future?
I may or may not have pulled it out and run around the Jordan house a little bit. I run with scissors, so you might as well run with swords too.
Wow.
So, and
I'm curious about this sword. How big is that sword, like from where you are?
oh, it would go past about halfway between you and Jackie.
Really?
Yeah.
So good sized sword.
It's big and it's
All right.
absolutely amazing. And on the other scale, did you know they used to make children's uniforms? Montgomery Ward sold them through their catalog. So I have a little itsy bitsy wave uniform that officers usually bought them, but that actually got started during the Civil War, but very few of them survived. So it's got this little uniform and a little cap for a child to wear.
Oh my goodness.
It's fun. I've learned so much.
I can only imagine, and that's what we get to do as well. We get to come and experience and learn, and maybe you might think you know a lot, but there's little pieces, and then when you connect it to our history here in West Des Moines and Central Iowa, that makes it even more special.
And I really think it's great to go out and support these other museums that are telling the story. We're just able to give you a quick taste of it, but as I said, there's the Gold Star Museum, there's the Fort Des Moines Museum, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
There is a military or an aircraft museum in Greenfield that
Really? I
really
didn't know
tells
that.
the story of these WASPs and the contributions that these women made with very little compensation. I mean, they were not considered part of the military, so if something happened to them, and many of them did die, you got to find the body, it's got to get home, the family has to pay for it. You can't have a star in your window, you can't have a flag on the coffin because you're not part of the military.
Wow.
So
it's almost like a sampler pack of a bunch of different museums in the area, all in one place.
and you can come to the Jordan House on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. are the guided tours, and this is what I think makes us so awesome. There's no extra fee for this. This
Really?
is just part of our regular tour. We really want people to feel passionate about history and be part of history.
I love that. Start there and then go check out the other museums that are in the area and beyond.
Support museums, support anybody who does this kind of stuff, any of these nonprofits.
I love it. West Des Moines Historical Society.org, WDMHS.org, and if people want more details on the Jordan House, perfect place to go, correct?
Exactly, that or our Facebook page.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
over.
for sharing. That's wonderful. You guys are doing great work. And how long is this exhibit?
Oh, it's
gonna
going to be up all year because, as I said, a lot of work.
It took a little time to put
We're
up.
not taking it down anytime soon.
No,
okay?
I've got another one about some medical things that I'm going to put up, but I need to raise some money first.
Okay. Something
Priorities.
else. I was going to say, something else you can check out if you head to the website or over to
Yes.
Jordan House.
Thank you
you
so
so
much.
much
Thank
for
you.
joining us, Gail. Great to see you.
Nice to see you.
Day 49.